Can you hear that ocean today? Wow! Look at that. Oh my God, that's my favorite sound. Look at that. Oh, I guess we get that a lot on the West Coast, but I don't know. That sound reminds me of, oh my gosh, people are jumping in. Ah, it's so great. Reminds me of Hawaii, Maui, that kind of thing. So I'm Tina O from Tina O Life. My website is TinaOLife.com. And I'm wearing my CanToo. Can you see that? My CanToo. Here's my token boob shot. My CanToo bib, shirt, whatever you want to call it. I am 4 days post triathlon. Some of you have been following, too bright over here. Some of you have been following my triathlon journey. I'm a year post radiation treatment for tonsil cancer. I lost 30 pounds, a lot of muscle, a lot of extra. And the funny thing is, I remember when I first started working with Miel Bernstein, who's a holistic food consultant. Before I was diagnosed, I remember saying to her, I just want to lose 20 pounds, you know, I'm just not in my body anymore. I'm a mom, I have 3 kids, and I'm just not in my body anymore. And when I started to lose weight, she looked at me and she said, you sure you really wanted to lose those 30 pounds, those 20 pounds? You sure? You sure about that? And it gave me lots of pause to think. Lots of pause to think. Because really, I was grateful to have that extra little bit on my body. Because when I got sick, I had some to lose. And it gave me pause to think about bank accounts. And that our body is like a bank account too, you know? And we need a little extra. It's like some savings. It's that little extra for when we need to draw on it. So I promised that I would debrief a little bit about what's happened since the triathlon and kind of what's next. And I think I still have more to say than the words have come. But I'm wearing my CanToo bib. There we go. I'm wearing my CanToo bib on purpose because the real message I think that's really happened for me over this whole triathlon thing and the cancer journey is that this is all about what you can do, can be, who you are inside beyond who you know yourself to be. I'm not a big fan of do, because I think that sets us up for an achievement mindset and lifestyle. And as we all know, life is not about what we achieve. Life is about what we experience. So if we can reframe the word do into experience, I'm all good for that. I'm good. But I think the key word here is can. And I started my journey, this triathlon journey, because my dear friend Adrian Wright, whom I met in 1998, so what is that, 18 years ago? Chance, happenstance, at a bus stop, Australian fellow. Hi Adrian. At a bus stop, 2 Canadian girls happened to save him from getting on the wrong bus. Couldn't figure out why he couldn't get on an express bus. Launched into a conversation. Ended up connected for the next 6 to 8 weeks. And then over a year as he traveled around other places. Only to, I'm not going to say lose touch, but only to, 2 continents apart. It's a big distance, right? Life happens. And we reconnected a couple of years ago. And then as through the cancer journey, we stayed in touch. And then when that was all done and this triathlon thing was happening, he saw it happening in Vancouver and he sent me a note about it. He said, you want to do this? And I had that visceral reaction, that kick in the gut, that big stomach, ooh, yeah, I do. So one of the things I want to share with you post triathlon some of the insights that have come is that when your gut says yes, or your gut says no, or your gut says, I don't know, listen. And if you don't even know what that feels like yet, then that's the first step. The first step is learning how to listen to what your inner yes feels like. I didn't know the how I was going to do this. I was certainly not a triathlete. I had done a mini tri when I was 28. I'm 45. At that time, it was the first time I ever swam with my face in the water. So I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't even know why I was doing it. I could feel all the logical reasons why, like prove to yourself, prove to others, screw cancer. But that's not why I did it. I did it because my body said yes. And I don't fight that stuff anymore. The most peaceful answer was yes. So I said yes. So that's the first insight that I have for you, is learn how to say yes when your body says yes before you do. And then I moved on. Then I started training, and the insights that I had there in the training was, wow, learning takes courage. Learning takes courage. Showing up when you're not sure how, feeling like a wiener when it's not going so well, takes courage. Talking about it takes courage. So my question to you with that insight is, are you showing up? And are you willing to? And where can you access more courage in your life? Where do you want to access more courage in your life? What's on the other side of that courageous step for you? So that was another insight, courage. The third insight was the big one, and that was fear. Oh, mother of pearl, fear. Fear of swimming, fear of not being good enough, fear of sucking, fear of letting people down, fear of doing it for all the wrong reasons. And then deciding to get in and do it anyway, that was big. Getting in and deciding to do it anyway was massive. And doing that publicly, sharing with everybody what was going on for me, it's a big insight there. And the insight there, sorry, let's go back. So the third insight was fear. And what it actually feels like to walk through fear. Not face fear. I'm not a big fan of that. Face your fears. Face your fears, do it anyway. Why do it anyway? Why? Fear has a purpose. But we can walk through it. We can listen to it. We can learn from it. We can ask it what it wants to tell us. That was my third insight. Was listening to fear, learning from fear. And then what was the fourth one? I was just on it. The fourth one. I lost it. It'll come back later. Maybe it wasn't what I wanted to share. I'm going to call the fourth one in this moment full circle. Full circle. A dear friend of mine was diagnosed with breast cancer this week. Ah, that's what it was. Full circle, yeah. And that recognition that nobody does anything alone, even though we walk it alone. And I recognize now that although when we do stuff, and this was through sharing it publicly for me, whether you share things publicly or not, people are watching you. And not to say you need to take responsibility for that, because you don't. It's not your responsibility to do stuff because people are watching you. But to remember in the full circle that we're all connected. Every experience you have, we're all connected. Life is watching, people are watching, you are watching. You will think back, how did I handle that? Was I real in that? Those are the questions. Was I authentic in that? Did I show up in that? People are watching. You watch. And you're making a difference every day you get out of bed. Every day you get out of bed, you make a difference. I'm wearing my CanToo bib because I hope to be a part of a message, a conversation of what we can do, what we can be for each other. What can we do and be and give and share? What's in you? What's your can do? What's your can be? What is that? I know we walk our path alone. I get it. Of course we come in alone, we go out alone. We spend our whole life trying to escape from being alone. Because we didn't, wake up on a planet by ourselves to be by ourselves. I get that. We're not supposed to be here alone. We're supposed to be here with other people. And so it's in the can of that. What can we do and be in connection to other people? Because that's where the full circle is. As I show up courageously, as I show up bravely, as I face fear, so do you. As I do what I can, my hope is that it inspires others to do what they can. You to do what you can. And not for the greater good, because the world needs saving. I'm not trying to create a whole bunch of new superheroes out to save the planet. Listen, the planet's wiser than we are. Planet doesn't need saving. We need some saving. And even then, how do I even know that? So in my insights from this try, and as I close this chapter of my life and move into the next chapter, I'm taking on a more peaceful life. One that's with the ocean and not against it. Remember my fear of swimming? My terror of swimming? One that's with the waves, that's with the wind, that's with it. It's not against it. That's my big insight. What can I do and be with you? I'm Tina O, and it's been a sheer pleasure to have you with me on this journey. And I invite you to come and have many more with me. Because I think this was one of the reasons why I did this, was to figure out this is one of my gifts. I go on journeys and I invite you to come. I said yes to that gut moment with the triathlon, and there's still answers coming. But the biggest one is that I'm meant to be here with you this way. So I thank you for coming with me, and I invite you to come on more. I'm signing off for this one, and there'll be many more to come. All right, look at that ocean. Woo! See you again.